1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2.
Put it right here.
Oh no, let's not put it next. Let's put it right here. So if it spills over, it doesn't go on top of any kind of electronic stuff. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. One, two, testing. 1, 2, 3, testing audio. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Hey, Gene.
Hey, this is Gracie.
Hey.
We're hearing you, so that's perfect. Thank you.
Okay, great. Then I'll plug in back the house and I'll monitor. I'll try to
Can I ask you all to be seated, please? Thank you. President Fike, fellow trustees, Vice President for Academic Affairs, deans, faculty, distinguished guests, family and friends, and most importantly, the students and candidates for graduate degrees. Oh yeah! I hereby declare the Golden Gate University 2019 Graduate Commencement Ceremony officially in session. Good morning. Oh, that's good. Very enthusiastic. I am Randy Merck, the chair of our Board of Trustees. On behalf of the Golden Gate University Board of Trustees, it is my distinct honor and privilege to welcome you today and to call to order the Golden Gate University 2019 Graduate Commencement Ceremony. It is wonderful to be together to celebrate the accomplishments of our candidates for graduate degrees from Golden Gate University. This tradition really began 118 years ago in 1901 with GGU's first business courses offered to San Francisco College students. Today we are here to honor the class of 2019's hard work and determination. And we thank their families and friends who helped and encouraged these candidates for degrees as they pursued their career dreams. We are all very proud of you. To get the ceremony started, I have the pleasure of introducing to you the president of Golden Gate University, Dr. David Fike.
Thank you, Randy. It is indeed a pleasure to add my voice to the welcome and the congratulations to our candidates. You notice that I chose the word candidates. You heard Randy refer to you as candidates. That's because you are not yet graduates. That happens in a little while. But I welcome you, all of you candidates, and all of the family and friends and supporters that have been part of this journey to this point. We take a moment at this point of the journey to have this very solemn, symbolic, celebratory event full of symbolism, symbols that go back for more than a century, centuries old, symbols of the accomplishments of candidates for the various degrees that we will be conferring today. I won't go into all the details, but everything that you see as part of this pomp and circumstance carries with it signification of many different levels of accomplishment. The colors on the robes, the lengths of the robes, the manner in which we present and declare you to be graduates is all part of a tradition which I think is also important to understand in this day and age, started through the advocacy of students. It used to be that it was only the faculty that wore these regalias in these events. And it was students in the 1800s in this country who said, we believe that as members coming into the academy, we should have the same sort of regalia and symbolism, and you're carrying forward that tradition today, and we're honored to be able to be a part of it with you. I also want to welcome the faculty and the staff of Golden Gate University. I can't say enough about my thanks, as I'm sure you would agree, that the work that the faculty have put in to design the curriculum and deliver the curriculum and work with you through the various challenges that you have met along the way is worthy of a deep and resounding round of applause for their work. Thank you, faculty. I would also like to recognize Randy Merck, who is the chair of our board and is here representing a group of individuals who work very hard behind the scenes to make Golden Gate University a better place. They do it without pay, purely out of love for this school and its mission and its students. And it's our Board of Trustees. I would like to thank them as well. Randy, we appreciate your work and the work of the trustees. Each year, we ask for students to submit applications and audition to be the student speaker at commencement. We had so many wonderful applicants for the student speaker that it becomes challenging in selecting one. However, through much discussion, we identified one with a compelling journey of hard work to achieve their goals in the classroom while also managing family and work responsibilities. Francis Custodio is a homegrown Bay Area native. He attended St. Ignatius High School and the University of San Francisco. Francis is a certified public accountant and has worked in public accounting for over 15 years. He is currently a partner at Devereaux, Cooner & Company, a CPA firm in San Francisco. He is an active member of business organizations such as Provisors, Cal CPA, and the International Advisory Group. During his free time, he enjoys spending time with his family and friends. He loves to coach his kids' sports teams and act in video and films. He recently completed a movie with Mark Munoz, an ex-UFC fighter, and Danny Trejo, known for his roles in movies such as Machete and Con Air. Please join me in welcoming your student speaker, Francis Custodio.
Wow. Good morning, everyone. Members of Board of Trustees, President Fike, alumni, faculty, staff, distinguished guests, family, friends, and to my fellow graduates, class of 2019, we did it. As we reflect on our journey today from such a great institution, Golden Gate University, I can't believe we are finally here. Graduation day. The late nights of studying at the library, cramming for a test at the GGU cafe while stuffing your face with a bagel, taking an online quiz at home or at the office, or praying that the teacher does not call on you during class, seem to fade away and are only distant memories at this time. Do you still remember what brought you to GGU? Do you remember the feeling when you first started and realized the amount of work that you need to put in to graduate? Do you remember the goals you set for yourself for higher learning? I still remember the day I framed my goal of achieving my degree. This is the frame. This frame serves as a continuous reminder that I have a goal to accomplish. During my sophomore year in undergrad, 19 years ago, at the University of San Francisco, I decided to set goals for myself and frame them after I decided accounting as my major. I was able to mark items off from this list, but the final goal was to continue my degree in taxation. It has been 18 years since I framed these career goals, but I'm happy to say that I get to mark this goal complete along with everyone graduating with me today. This goal took 10 years for me to complete. I decided to stretch it out and take one class a year due to tax season and my kids' super busy activity schedule. To be honest, the long gaps between each class were very tough for me to get motivated and register for the next one. You know, I recently ran a half marathon. I learned that the secret is to not stop running. Once you stop, it is hard to get back at it again, and the chances of cramping is a lot higher. For me, this was the same issue when taking classes at GGU, as it was a struggle to get started again after the long breaks. As you know, 10 years is a very long time. When I started 10 years ago, the GGU bookstore and cafe were in another building. Now they're in the same building where the classes are held. When I started 10 years ago, the Golden State Warriors were a horrible, horrible basketball team. They were so bad that Klay Thompson didn't know that there was a basketball team in Oakland. Now they are one of the greatest teams ever assembled. Great win last night against the Clippers. When I started 10 years ago, I was much skinnier. Since then, I've gained I'm lying, more like 15 pounds. I honestly blame it on the dim sum restaurant Yang Sing next to GGU. I passed by it every time I came home from school. Even though I somehow controlled myself and avoided it, I had McDonald's and Chipotle just calling me around the corner. During my 10 years, my wife and I had 2 more children, totaling to 3, changed employers, made partner in my firm, but also endured tough times, such as dealing with the passing of several loved ones and going through several injuries. Whether it took you 10 years, 5 years, 2 years to get your degree, there were challenges, distractions, temptations, and obstacles that you had to get through to accomplish your graduate degree today. Confucius once said, "When it is obvious that the goals cannot be reached, don't adjust the goal, adjust the action steps." You know, when I told my wife that I was graduating today several months ago, this was her response, and it's the truth. Her response was, "How? When? What?" Yeah, exactly. "Hun, I'm graduating. How? When? What?" Let me translate so we can understand. Basically, she asked me the following questions with these 3 words. How did you find time when you were coaching basketball and baseball all year round for 9 years? When did you go to class and complete your assignments when you're so busy at work? And what? You finished school? Majority of the time, your efforts went unnoticed by many family and friends. They did not see the challenges and obstacles that you went through, such as studying before or after work. I'm sure many of you studied during work hours as you immediately close your GGU browser as your boss passed by. You know who you are. Many of the graduates today also have children to look after. Studying for your class with children in the house was a definite challenge. I recall a time when my youngest daughter, Isabella, climbed my back while I was completing my take-home midterm. She slid down my right arm, swung around my neck, screaming with joy. At that point, my night of studying was over. There was another time when my middle daughter, Kaylee, threw up on me and my homework. It was really messy and disgusting, and I don't think Professor Vincent would have appreciated me submitting that homework. Dorothy Height, a civil rights activist, once said that greatness is not measured by what a man or woman accomplishes, but by the opposition he or she has to overcome to reach their goals. Despite all the obstacles and challenges we had to go through to graduate, we managed to somehow get here today. To conclude, life will not pause or slow down, whether we like it or not. It is up to us to stay focused, determined, and goal-oriented. This frame reminded me every day that I had a goal that I wanted to accomplish. I would like to acknowledge the Golden Gate University faculty and staff who were instrumental in making sure that I stayed on my path to graduate and reach my goal. Without God's help and the support of my wife, children, parents, in-laws, brothers, and other family and friends, I wouldn't be here today. What made today extra special for me is that my 3 kids get to see me graduate. As much as this frame reminded me of my goals, my 3 children motivated me, inspired me, and made my graduation journey worthwhile. My son Angelo said during his 8th grade graduation speech 2 years ago, "No one can tell me where I can and can't go." This statement is true. There are no limits to where you can go and what you can do as long as you believe in yourself and stick to your goals. Today's accomplishment is a testament to that. Class of 2019, congratulations. We did it. Thank you.
Thank you, Francis. Golden Gate University has been providing access to career-advancing educational opportunities for more than a century. Given this mission, it is fitting that this year's commencement address will be delivered by a visionary and nationally recognized thought leader in workforce development, who also happens to be a dear friend to Golden Gate University, Vaughn Ton Quinlivan. Ms. Ton Quinlivan is currently executive in residence at the Institute for the Future in Silicon Valley, where she examines how technology impacts learners, institutions, and employment. For nearly 8 years prior to this role at the IFF, she served in leadership roles with 115 institution California community colleges, most recently as the system's Executive Vice Chancellor for Workforce and Digital Futures. By establishing workforce development as a statewide policy priority, and by inspiring an unprecedented level of innovation, collaboration, and experimentation across the system's career education programs, Ms. Ton Quinlivan grew public annual investments from $100 million to more than $1 billion during her tenure. Ms. Ton Quinlivan earned her master's degrees from the Stanford Graduate School of Education and the Stanford Graduate School of Business. She earned her bachelor's degree from Georgetown University. In 2013, Ms. Ton Quinlivan was named White House Champion of Change in recognition for her contributions to education and industry. She received the California Steward Leader Award in 2017 for her dedication to collaboration and her work to align public, private, and civic sector leaders in support of economic and social mobility for state residents. Vaughn, we are honored to have you speak to us today, and we are pleased to be able to add to this list of accolades by conferring upon you an honorary degree of humane letters in recognition of your many achievements in areas so close to our hearts. To do this conferring of the degree, I'd ask you to step forward, and I'd like the chair of our Board of Trustees, Randy Merck, to also step forward and assist. I would like to read the following citation, which accompanies the hood and diploma, which signify your honorary degree. Vaughn Ton Quinlivan, educator, strategist, community leader, thought leader of workforce development, distinguished friend of Golden Gate University. We recognize your innovative and transformational service as Executive Chancellor of the California Community College System, the largest and most complex college system in the nation. We applaud your work to ensure that the workforce is a policy priority in California and beyond. We note with gratitude the unprecedented level of innovation, collaboration, and experimentation you made possible in the state's career education programs. We greatly appreciate the analytic and strategic acumen you have applied to the interdependence of education and employment, and honor you for sharing your insights broadly through your influential essays, speeches, and memberships. We admire the exemplary commitment you have demonstrated to the causes that benefit the students and workers of California and the nation. Therefore, it is with honor and privilege that as the president of the Golden Gate University, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the university's Board of Trustees on this 27th day of April in the year 2019, that I confer upon you the degree Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, with all the rights and privileges thereunto appertaining. Congratulations.
Thank you, President Fike, Board Member Merck, and the administration and faculty of Golden Gate University. I am honored to speak with today's soon-to-be graduates, their friends and families. My name is Von Tone Quinlivan. I come by many labels, and I share with you a few today in the hope that we find some in common. Label 1, I am a change maker. I was named a White House Champion of Change by the Obama administration for leading transformation in higher education, named California Steward Leader for bringing together public, private, and civic sectors in support of social mobility for California's residents, and named Sacramento Magazine's Powered by Women as a leader who inspires positive change. Label 2, I am an executive. My career spanned both the private and public sectors. In government, I served as the Executive Vice Chancellor driving the workforce mission of the California Community Colleges. As President Fike mentioned, that is the largest system of higher education in the nation. In the private sector, I was head of workforce development for a company of 20,000 men and women. I took the company from having no opinion in workforce development to becoming a nationally recognized industry best practice. Label 3, I am a spouse and a parent. My husband and I have been married for 20 years. We have 2 teenagers, ages 13 and 17. But the most important label I want to share with you is label 4, immigrant. I am an immigrant, first generation into this country. This label has meaning because it lets you know that my journey began behind the starting line. And if I could find my way to become a change maker, an executive, a spouse and a parent, you can too, if you so choose. In 1975, war displaced my parents from what they knew. With 3 small children in tow, including me, my parents escaped out of Vietnam and arrived in the United States with not much more than the clothes on our back. Growing up, I remember how hard it was for my parents how hard my parents worked to make ends meet. And yet, they never expressed regret for what they lost. Rather, they were always grateful for the opportunity ahead. Not surprisingly, my parents could not give us much advice on how to navigate career and life, since they were new to the American way. So after I finished college, I ambled into my journey of work and life, uncovering tips along the way. And so if you're interested, I would like to pay these forward to you today. Tip number 1, tame your internal voice of judgment. Tame your internal voice of judgment. I actually learned this phrase during my MBA from Stanford. The loudest voice that keeps you from realizing your own potential is not that of your boss, nor your parents, nor your spouse, but that of your own. In your head, you may hear this voice of judgment speak to encourage, but beware when it discourages. Does it say, I'm not good enough, I'm not ready, I don't look the part, or if I try, I'm going to fail or look foolish? As a Vietnamese female, my voice of judgment also had a cultural overlay, telling me I was not acting proper as a female. One time at work, my voice of judgment was so loud that I blurted out, I can't, I've never done it before. And in a moment of coaching, my wise and patient boss replied, you will figure it out. And he was right. I did figure it out, with some help, that is. In the future of work, many things will need to be figured out. Retrain your voice of judgment to encourage, not discourage. Tip number 2, broaden and deepen your expertise. Broaden and deepen your expertise. With your GGU degree, you have gained a solid foundation on which to base your career. Don't stop there. Keep learning, stay current. There are many ways. Remember to ask your supervisors and mentors for projects. I'm interested in working with a high-growth client so that I can better understand tax strategies for growing companies. I want to have a global assignment. I want to work on digital transformation. Remember to ask. Don't limit your learning to just opportunities inside the organization. Attend workshops and conferences. Take online courses to round out your knowledge. Do pro bono work and serve on commissions and nonprofit boards. My road to becoming an expert took this latter, more nonlinear road. I started with a desire to better understand the community colleges and its role in workforce development, then committed time to reading the research, doing pro bono work, and serving on commissions and boards before turning the work into my day job. This learning journey got me positioned with the expertise and network to be the best person for the job when it became available. Tip number 3, collect mentors along the way. Collect mentors along the way. My mentors don't look like me. My 2-time boss and mentor was a man, Peter Darby, who was the chief financial officer in his 40s when I first worked for him and hired me again when he became CEO. Marsha Johnson was the chief human resources officer of the Southern Company and a prominent African-American leader in Atlanta when we met through an executive development program. Gail Shetler had stepped down as lieutenant governor of Colorado and got paired with me in a mentoring program. She gave me my first tutorial on how to navigate government. My mentors were of different ages, different ethnicities, different genders, lived in different states, had different experiences, and owned different strengths. Thanks to them all, I made better decisions in navigating career and life and avoided the common potholes. Number 4, feedback is a gift. Feedback is a gift. This one's really tough. You don't have to 100% agree with the feedback, but if it comes from a person of credibility, not from your social media account, it is important to take it graciously and simply say, thank you. Take time to emotionally process it, but also take time to discern whether there is a nugget of truth in what you heard. Back when I was a newly minted MBA, Peter Darby told me I seemed nervous. I was too quiet during business meetings and that my voice trembled. I said, thank you. And he actually offered to send me to a public speaking coach. Later in my career, Marsha Johnson observed that I was repeating an unhelpful behavior that was holding me back. And I said, thank you, and worked on myself to break the cycle. Feedback is a gift. Learn to say thank you. Tip number 5, intersect the future. Intersect the future. We are all very busy in the here and now, but don't forget to look up and outwards at the 10-year future. Consider what might look different then for your profession, for your organization, or the industry in that future of work. So take a moment and play along with me. Imagine, what if in the 10-year future, everything rote and repetitive in your profession is automated and done by machines? What kind of work will value the human touch? Your colleagues can be humans, robots are avatars. What skills make you a good colleague to them? Technology platforms and the algorithms become the new middle management to assign and match work. This means your online reputation is a must, not a nice to have, because reputation data is what an algorithm can read. How others rate you, what experiences are in your portfolio, your demonstrated competencies, your earned credentials, your ability to display who you're connected to and can influence, and so on. How will you build your online reputation in addition to your physical one? You self-identify through a personalized learning record not tied to any education institution or employers. By scanning a personal QR code, an employer can see your skills, experiences, formal and informal education and training, all verified and recorded in blockchain. How will you engage in lifelong learning as a way to differentiate yourself? Workers increasingly go independent because independent becomes so commonplace that people no longer will say they go to work, because that implies the outdated notion that work is a physical location with a physical boss. Instead, people will say they will do work without expectations of going anywhere physical. What do you know about running your own business? Environmental stressors become so pronounced that carbon emission becomes strictly enforced. How will work occur differently? Perhaps the virtual world becomes where you collaborate. Lastly, because of distrust of the pervasive use of algorithms, organizations that emphasize transparency in their culture begin to stand out in a good way. What if everything you type and everything that you text for work becomes visible to the rest of the organization? Privacy norms will have changed. So, whoa, let's come back from the 10-year future into the here and now. What would you do differently to future-proof yourself and your organization for this future of work? Remember the tips. Tip 1, tame your voice of judgment. Remember, you got this. Tip 2, broaden and deepen your expertise, especially skills valuable in the future. Tip 3, collect mentors along the way. Tip 4, take feedback as a gift. Tip 5, intersect the future. Periodically look ahead even as you focus on today. Remember, we are all immigrants into the future. Just know that we will figure it out. Thank you.
Thank you, Vaughn, for those inspiring and thoughtful words, thought-provoking words. Before we begin presenting our candidates, I would like to specially recognize the 3 faculty members who were selected by their peers to be honored for their excellence in scholarship, teaching, and service to the university. I would note, in doing so, that the recipients of these awards are first learning that they are recipients of that selection right now. I would like to invite Vice President for Academic Affairs, Barbara Carlin, to step forward and assist me with the presentation of these awards. And I would like to invite the faculty recipients to step forward to receive the award. The recipient of the award for service is Marie Spark, lecturer and director of the Project Management Program in the Agino School of Business. The The recipient of the Judith E. Browning Award for Outstanding Teaching is Eric Lee, lecturer in the Bruce Braden School of Taxation. And the recipient of the Excellence in Scholarship Award is a gentleman who just recently went through hip surgery, so we're going to deliver it to his chair. Mick McGee, Associate Professor in the Agino School of Business. And now, it's time to present the candidates for the graduate degrees from Golden Gate University. We ask that the candidates, as well as family and friends, remain seated and observe the ceremony to its conclusion, as the formal conferral of degrees will take place at the end of the ceremony. Remember, you're still only candidates. We will begin with the presentation of the single candidate for the degree of Doctor in Business Administration, and I would like to invite the Dean of the Edward S. Agino School of Business to step forward and assist. Will the doctoral candidate of the class of 2019 come forward and be recognized? We have with us Seda Ziden, who completed her dissertation entitled The Impact of Social Media Display Ad Characteristics on User Engagement. Seda, congratulations. Yeah, you can sit down. Thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to present now the candidates for the master's degree. The master's degree is an academic degree awarded by universities upon completion of a course of study demonstrating a mastery of high-order knowledge of a specific field of study or area of professional practice. We will now begin with the presentation of the candidates for the master's degree from the class of 2019. I would like to invite the deans of the schools to assist. We ask that members of the audience remain at your seats throughout the presentation. Please don't enter the aisles or come forward to attempt to take photos, as this disrupts the experience for those around you. We will be taking photos backstage as well as from the stage, which will be available for you, and there will be ample opportunity to take pictures after the ceremony. We also ask that you hold your applause, I know I always have to say that, until all the candidates have been presented.
Now announcing the graduates from the School of the Bruce F. Braden School of Taxation. Francis Custodio.
Michael Aguirre.
Maria Theresa Baradas.
Elizabeth Ann Barron.
Stephen Campos.
Malik Hyatt Charles.
Annie Chen.
Eric Suan Chung.
Heather Marie Dakoto.
Gareth Davis.
Christina Marie DeVicki.
Anna Marie Diokno.
Nicholas Ray Garcia.
Kayuri Gabawala.
Alexis Hartford.
Xiaowei Gong.
Sandra Wee.
Jane Coleman.
Ajusri Koti.
Lejie Jiang.
Annie Lee.
Hiyun Mu Lee.
Jingjing Liang.
Jingwon Lee.
Eric Leo.
Di Liu.
Christina Marquez.
Kalong Mak.
Stephen Donald Moe.
Gerald Michael.
Chutomo Thomas Nato.
Mavis Motherway.
Hong Nguyen.
Nancy Ng.
Annie Fung.
Bhargavi Patel.
Jackie Nora.
Manasa Rao.
Ashken Sayar.
Jenny Sargis.
Asia Simova.
Jordan Stoner.
Kuwan Tam.
Neil Andre Shuet.
Angelica Vivas Teal.
Jennifer Mengyi Tang.
Clayton Tom.
Heather Thomas.
Jack Wu.
Devin Michael Witt.
Grace Chin Yu.
Pamela C. Genuine Zhang. Jie Liu. Now announcing the graduates from the School of Accounting.
Will Chen.
Annie Chiang.
Michael Formosa.
Kanokan Fatang Jajing.
Vincent Yao.
Ada Yu.
Haiti Torres Marino.
Neelam Darji.
Angela Avalos.
Mira Escuda.
Borlo Tuya Dinibat.
Shao Hassan Hu.
Maria Yesenia Hernandez Rojas.
Torlada Lam.
Jasnor Carr.
Li Lin.
Ling Su Lee.
Nagahan Pakel.
Melissa Louis.
Ryan Patrick Risser.
Larry Quach.
Mohammed Sharoz Shahid.
Rosangelica Schubert.
Reshma Agarwal.
Joseph Byers.
Langzhen Kao.
Neelis Prakash Sharin.
Jia Jing Long.
Jiping Lin.
Verdina Claudia Luke.
Janit Mayada.
Now announcing the graduates from the School of Edward S. Agino School of Business.
Frederick Burgos.
Chinevian Amalai.
Nupur Gupta.
Suzanne Fisher Comello.
Gabriela Beatrice Rice.
Fernando Ramirez.
Vividita Tilagarja.
Latasha Shepard.
Angelico De Vera.
Sierra Blackwell.
Brad Klum.
Fernando Gago Valera.
Camila Ribas De Freitas.
Shamia Suhiro Well.
Brian Kobe.
Ahmet Tasi.
Sosan Faruka.
Jesse Malvesti.
Eric Lee Diaz Jr.
Bobby Awesome.
Alex Argelis.
Exor Conrad Basa.
Rambabu Banda.
Mina Boajanek.
Charles Brown.
Tamika Bird.
David Canlis.
Huichun Chuang.
Joshua Chang.
Chris Kariaga.
Males Prabhu Chaudhali Rajendra.
Charles de Guzman.
Do Hung Andan.
Travis Enfield.
Lilibeth Velasco Dofiles.
Melissa Fung.
Susanna C. Fung.
Jennifer Fung.
Christopher Joseph Fung.
Sheila Hilario.
Kimberly Fung.
Rico John Bajar Hubila.
Christian Hogue.
Himanot Casa.
Venkat Dinakar Juwadi.
Anthony Lee.
Wen Lei.
Alexander Lim.
Paula Llewellyn.
Kimberly Lowe.
Oscar Baptista Lorenzo.
Paul Madrinan.
David Lyle.
Sujata Munisidia.
Laura Lee Mejia.
Christian Pendleton.
He Nguyen.
Michael Price.
Leonard Stephen Pesta.
Maria Ramos Ruiz.
Aldo Rysich.
Richa.
April Diane Ramos.
Olga Chernov Svard.
Joss Roybal.
Han Dang Han Vu.
Deepika Sharman.
Raymond Yip.
Roberto Valentin Jr.
Jose Leal.
Claudia Weiss.
Yohei Umahara.
Jackie Wynn.
Abigail Samantha Bloom King.
Brandon Patrick Lee.
Melissa Dede.
Ava Burkott.
Sarah Tasneem Siddiqui.
Michelle Renee Dumalag Perez.
Nosakari Ikpoma.
Mercedes Garcia.
Melinda Larson.
Francisco Aringo Isidoro.
King George Muniri.
Ryan Moran.
Leopoldo Ortiz.
Andrea Perry.
Jeremiah Platten.
Gerald Schumacher.
Cecilia Cibrian.
Kai Yuan.
Nicholas Nicolette.
Magna Biotra.
Jusiang Nina Chen.
Eric Lee.
Xiaowei Lin.
Amy Liu.
Punita Patel.
Shawit Johannes.
Cesar Blangino.
Sanabet Ega Berez Diaz.
Sanjar Islamov.
All right. Powadi Gurped.
Stephen Linderman.
Benjamin Luke.
Nazanin Mogadasi.
Biayuk Shankar.
Thomas Reed Jr.
Gurpreet Sen.
Christopher Sharp.
Pragia Verma.
Angelica Swan.
Kylie Eng.
Edward Matiwatlokia Jr.
Galia Silva.
Eric Richardson.
Shari Achan.
Kanchan Aher.
Louis Joe Batisioko.
Jonas Baltazar.
Lauren Carini.
Matthew Britton.
Viviana Castellanos.
Jane Carrion.
Anula Chowdhury.
Shanice Shu.
Nessa Fong.
Victor Ferreira.
Fadlisat Iqbal.
Angela Griffith.
Gabriella Reese.
Navdeep Kaur,
Natalie Amanda Signorelli,
Shruti Jogi,
Michael Wood,
Laura Johnson,
Sani Yang,
David Seto,
Devyani Bavez,
Jodette Johanna,
BJ Bendre,
Prine Andali,
Michelle Wee Kangfong,
Sadek Banohabat Shafjiri,
Anuradha Patel,
Veena Priyadarshini Chintala,
Syed Sadar,
Navjot Kaur,
Ankit Sharma,
Anish Matthews,
Giovanni Rosales,
Richard Rushlow Jr.,
Sophia Sapkota,
Kunal Mahesh Shah,
Evander Joseph,
Gulsnover Singh,
Dharani Samjabpan,
Rebecca Ajanuma,
Chimney Bosamia,
Denisa Morales Merchan,
Hi. Maria Eladrandra Huacho Cortez,
Nurjamal Acosta,
Anna Kuze,
Song Hua Che,
Anthony Larita,
Amy James,
Roseanne Yadev,
Saloni Sharma,
Jacinta Hernandez,
Jeffrey Darger,
Jishti Panda,
Eduardo Manalansan, Brett Parker,
Will the candidates for the master's degree and our candidate for the doctorate degree please rise? Candidates, candidates for the doctorate degree and the master's degree, by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Golden Gate University, I now confer upon you the degree of master and doctorate with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. Congratulations. You may be seated. We are now going to begin the formal recessional. Please remain seated until the graduates have recessed from the theater. Thank you all for joining us for the 2019 Golden Gate University commencement exercise.